Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and today we are going to be answering the question, where is your soulmate? Where are they? Where are they? Maybe they're waiting for you to learn a lesson. Maybe you're waiting for them to learn a lesson. Maybe something's blocking you from them, or the other way around. Or maybe they're just on their way. Any moment they're gonna knock on your door and you can just sit back and relax and let it all happen. Whatever it is, we're gonna be going over it in the cards today in order to bring the two of you together faster, or at least give you the comfort to know, like, all you can do is sit back, they're coming, no worries, all that good jazz. You can pick from any of these four piles, whatever resonates with you most, and I'll be reading it today. We've got group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you a moment to pick. Oh, and if you can hear that breathing, because it's kind of loud, my current twin flame is asleep. So you might hear him occasionally snore, so sorry about that, but we're gonna talk very quietly right now so he can sleep. Anyways, after you've picked the file that resonates with you most, you can go down to the description where the timestamp is for the allotted group. And let's get into reading group number 1. Group number 1. Where is your soulmate? Where are they? Tell me where they are. Okay, your oracle card is Heal the Ouch upright. And your tarot cards are Judgment in reverse, King of Cups upright, Queen of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups upright, and your last tarot card is 6 of Pentacles upright. All right. Sorry if you can hear breathing. That is, I can't do anything about that. My sweet little twin flame right now worked an overnight shift, so they're sleeping like right over there. So if you can hear that, it's just them sleeping. Take it as like a comforting thing. Anyways, back to your current soulmate. So first of all, I can say right off the bat, they're really, really just a very kind, good-hearted person who's very compassionate and goes out of their way to help people. And this is more than them just being, you know, when people are like, oh, the person I love, yeah, they're very good. No. This is somebody who's above average. It's their destiny to help others. It's something, if this is important to you, like you personally go out of your way to help people, you have met your match, and this is somebody who you'll get along with famously. Either way, I think you're going to definitely be drawn to and attracted to their kindness. But either way, when we talk about a destiny situation, that's what they're going through right now. They're going through a lesson to be learned in order to become the best person they can be. And this is a bit of a lesson and a blockage. It's like the thing that's making them feel weak right now and enabling them and preventing them from getting to you right now. They don't feel like their best version of their of themselves, because they're kind of right this second going through a rough time. So let's get into that. So Heal the Ouch, Oracle card, and Judgment in reverse being right next to super, super, super significant. So in Heal the Ouch, Oracle card, this is more than just somebody going through a painful process, which we can see here in the 5 of Cups upright. This is about somebody who is in the process of trying to heal and overcome this painful experience in this freshly opened wound, emotional wound. But it's about asking, this is spirit asking them, you need to feel like the best version of you, because it is your destiny to be able to help others. And by going through this experience, you're going to be able to better understand their perspective, but you also need to kind of get it together to be that person who has the confidence and emotional stability to then be able, because like, how can you help others if you can't help yourself? You know what I'm saying? So we got a destiny thing going on, and this is repeated again in the Judgment card. But this is where it gets more interesting. There's a certain self-awareness they have for this being their calling, but they're kind of ignoring it right now, which is really kind of crazy to me, because they have some really significant traits that would help a person like this. So King of Cups, I can see they're a great listener. I can see they're not only very compassionate and emotionally vulnerably open with people. This is somebody who's vulnerable and finds it their power, their strength by being super vulnerable with others. Like, you can't bring them down because they're going to be honest with you first and like stand in their truth, so to speak. But this is somebody who's so in control of their emotions that if somebody's really kind of overloading on them their emotions, they're able to keep theirs steady and be there for somebody else and not be negatively influenced or, you know, take on too much of somebody else's hard time. They're able to be that really confident, stable, emotional leader in that way. But in addition to that, Six of Pentacles shows me that they're just naturally a very generous, giving person. Like we talked about before, they're very helpful. They go out of their way to give the t-shirt off their back to others. So, you know, by all accounts, good to go for a very loving person, as we've expressed many times. But right here, I can see they're, and this is why I say it's weird, they're experiencing some sort of self-doubt. They're aware they're ignoring what they should be doing in life, and there's a certain, and the reason why they're ignoring it is they don't believe they're capable, even though we just talked about that they're totally capable. They can totally do it. Now you might say, okay, so they've been through a hard time. They're this good person, but they don't think they are. What's the blockage? This gets answered right here with this interaction between the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Five of Cups. As you can see, he is unable to, and I say he, but remember your soulmate could be a girl or a guy, is unable to, you know, heed the calling and be able to give something of themselves that they don't have it right now. This isn't a Four of Pentacles thing. This is just they're totally distracted by their grief right now. Same thing over here. This person who's very emotionally open and giving is ignoring, choosing to look away because they're so mentally consumed and aware of this situation going on here. So, Queen of Swords. This is, I'm going to pull some more cards because I want to know who this is negatively influencing. I am getting a strong feminine energy with this, but the thing is, this is a general reading. So some of you, this might be a person who is a male affecting a woman, or a female affecting another female, or a male affecting another male, because it just depends on who you are and who your soulmate is. But either way, somebody is negatively influencing and causing your current person to just be in a state of pessimism. I can see, imagine this house being the part of them, but imagine over here, this is a version of themselves being really giving and loving, and they're over here in the town, right? By this person kind of putting this negative energy on your soulmate, they're being pulled away. They're unable. They don't feel like they can make the trek all the way into town. It feels further and further away. They're trying to heal, but they couldn't be further from the process at the moment. They're just really going through it. So this is somebody really consuming their mental thoughts, being extremely controlling, influencing them and pulling them more and more towards self-doubt. But I don't know if this is a jealousy thing and they just feel jealous that this person's really compassionate. Maybe it has nothing other than they're just in a bad sort of interaction with one another, so that's how they're being affected. The biggest thing I do want to note, and this just only emphasizes your soulmate's kindness and love, is notice this is not an interaction where there's any aggression or fighting. Your soulmate is somebody who when they care about someone, whether this be a friend or a relationship or anything like that, they just don't have it in them to bring and push back and mirror any sort of hateful words or aggression. And so all they can do is go inwards. But the thing is, I don't feel like this, your soulmate, especially when I see these other power play type of cards, just naturally lays down and takes it all the time if they experience the slightest negative thing. This is more like, clearly this is a very significant person to affect them this badly that they're being pulled away from who they are and what they want to do, and they're unable to even pull away from this and just walk away and say, listen, I don't want to, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And being specifically a queen situation rather than another type of cards influence, this person knows and is aware of their power over your soulmate. So let's just, I'm gonna where are my cards? Swords. I'm just gonna shuffle some cards here because I just want to understand who is this Queen of Swords. Who is this Queen of Swords? Oh, okay. We got a couple right here. Okay, so we've got Knight of Cups upright. Yep, relationship. 3 of Swords upright. Yep, the Tower upright. Okay, so no wonder we're having such a negative effect. So this is somebody, let me just pull this so you can see, we can see our person right here. And I'll push this over so you can see the Queen of Swords too. So I can see here that this is a relationship sort of thing, like a romantic situation when we got the Knight of Cups over here. But what's kind of interesting here is they are causing them a lot of pain and betrayal. And there could have even been potentially an infidelity type situation. But either way, with the Tower being here, to your soulmate at the moment, this is somebody who is very significant. This is, you know, how in our lifetime we might have a couple significant relationships, the big ones. So this is one that is just painfully hurting your soulmate like no other. It is just turning their world upside down. I almost feel like there is a false vibe here. When I mean false vibe, I said that wrong. I feel like this Queen of Swords is mirroring and trying to make this, that's what it is. Yep, I can tell because I'm thinking about Mars and everything like that. So with the Queen of Swords, this person is trying to be like, look how negative and bad I am. We're so similar. I'm reflecting you. This is who you are, and trying to slowly trick them into thinking, and they're aware of how not great this person is, that somehow they are one and the same. And so not only are they making their life painful and hurting them just on a regular, like with words and confrontations and that type of thing, but that's where the self-doubt's coming in. That's where they're starting to feel less and less like themselves. It's more than just like someone you really care about saying something mean about you. It's making that person you care about think, or they're trying to make you think that you're just as equally bad. I mean, I think most people really care about their character and would be deeply bothered by this. So that's where the whole thing's going down, how significant it is. But I will say, this person who's basically the main blockage between you and your soulmate, don't worry, they're going to obviously go away. This is just a temporary thing. You don't have to worry about this being somebody your soulmate would even think about or care about. They've just never experienced somebody like this. This is why it's so painful for them. It's not that this person's more significant. I can especially see with the Knight of Cups, this relationship isn't even that deep, or they haven't been going to get out together that long, maybe just like 6 months type of deals. You know, this isn't somebody who they'll refer back to this relationship and be like, yeah, we dated for 5 years. This is somebody I thought I was going to marry. Not at all. It's just they have never had someone kind of go gun for them emotionally so intensely before. So that's why the emotions seem so much more drastic. Not because they cared so much about this individual. They're a generally loving and caring person, so pain can be really intense for them in general. But this person, for whatever reason, just knows how to hit below the belt. So pretty sad. Don't worry, they're coming your way, but right now they're distracted and kind of going through their own self-discovery by getting this person out of the way and kind of being naturally connected to the best version of themselves. But the good thing with the Tower being here as well, and I will note, is that trust me, they're going to be out of the picture real soon. So no worries, even though unfortunately it is a worry at the moment for your soulmate. So let's send them good vibes. Let's hope they, you know, realize what a good person they are and that they can stop being distracted, and their soulmate, you, is on the other side waiting to give them that love and care and appreciate them the way they deserve to be appreciated. So I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Feel free to like and subscribe, comment, all that good jazz. Either way, have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's look at where your soulmate is. Where are they? Okay, your oracle card is Storm Fields in reverse. And your tarot cards are Queen of Cups upright, Four of Cups in reverse. 10 of Swords upright. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And your last one is 6 of Wands in reversed. My God, what's going on here? Okay, I think do you hear my twin flame sleeping? He's breathing very deeply right now. If you can hear that, that's him. So anyways, let's focus on your soulmate though. So I can tell you right off the bat, your soulmate is a very emotional person, and is most of their power, their success in life comes from their emotions. But there's a lot of consideration I can see going on here with how they are self-aware of this, and how they don't, if it's not going great emotionally, how they don't want it to affect other people. So they do use it to their advantage to help them, you know, positively get what they want in life. But if anything's ever not going great, they withdraw, and they don't want to put that on other people, which is really interesting. So there's a lot of confidence with and awareness that when they're in a good mood and they're kind of just like feeling passionate and vivacious, they just glow. They're totally confident, being like, oh, I know other people can sense it, and then they want to join and support what I'm doing. And it looks like it's gotten them pretty far in life, which is great. But things aren't going great right now at the moment, or were. We'll get to that. So let's start off with Stormfields in reverse as an oracle card. This is about advising somebody who's going through not a great time that it isn't the time to fight back or speak out, because due to this current situation, you're going to say something you will regret. So again, going back to the whole consideration thing, they care about hurting other people. But I can see here in the Ten of Swords, whatever went down, it went down badly. So the biggest thing I'm picking up that basically happened was, oh, and I want to point out that the Queen of Cups being right next to the Stormfields, that's how strong their emotional power is. I mean, if they wanted to freak out, they will become the very storm themselves. Oh my God, can I hit every crystal possible? So let's start over here with what went wrong. So I can tell with the Six of Wands and kind of just the alignment of these cards, they were kind of killing it for a while. They were in their flow, everything was great, they were totally aligned with themselves and the universe, and they were receiving a lot of tangible evidence for that and benefiting from it. But I think somewhere around the way, they got a little bit cocky. Not a bad thing, not a terrible thing to feel really overconfident or anything like that. And that was not the thing that took them down, though. I do want to note that. So we can have reassurance that your soulmate isn't someone who's like over egotistical. Because with the Wheel of Fortune thing, Wheel of Fortune, when it comes to luck and how things are, it's chaotic. It has no rhyme or reason. It's not you, it's the universe. And the positive thing is, what goes up goes down, and what goes down goes back up. It is just truly a cycle, and this is just kind of the emotion of the ocean, what's going on so far. So from what I can tell, they didn't really do anything. It just kind of happened. But with Six of Wands in reverse, it talks about how everything was going really great, and then it just kind of, they fell off. They everything seemed to turn upside down, and that can really throw people. I think we can all agree, especially when you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I think I'm going to pull some more cards because I'm actually curious what this Ten of Swords situation went on. But whatever it was, it ended. So what I'm trying to say is, this is more than kind of like a flow. They were working on something, and it's gone now. It's, oh, like my crystals. It's over. It ended badly. It's never coming back. It's dead. Whatever it is gone. It doesn't mean their luck is gone or anything's bad. I can see in a really positive way that it didn't permanently ruin their being and their light and their inner power when it comes to their emotions. But whatever it was and whatever they were benefiting from, out of nowhere just kind of flipped, not because of their influence or something they did. It just happened. It was just kind of, it just was what it was. And it went from 0 to 180 or 60, whatever the phrase is. It did a total complete flip and went from a flow to a complete halt. And it was bad. It was really bad. And this is where the self-awareness comes in and something you can really respect about your soulmate. After this happened, they were like, instead of, they could have lashed out. So this is what makes me think somebody else was potentially involved. Again, I'm going to pull some more cards. But they could have freaked out. They could have really brought the intensity because they're capable of it. They have the power and the influence to be able to do so. But they chose not to. They withdrew. They pulled back. But not just to heal, not to just feel better, but to not affect others. And then this is another really cool thing I want to point out with the Four of Cups. Of any card we could potentially pull, this shows to me that while it was really bad, it was bad. And it was not fun for them to go through this. It shows that there's a certain level-headed, this is how strong they are and in control they are with their emotions. While they didn't love it and they did feel it to a great magnitude, they were able to see kind of the greater picture and realize that this was just a thing that can happen in life. It isn't the end of the world. And they didn't let it define them in that way. So they kind of were just like, I need to pull away. I don't feel great. I don't want to bother anybody. But like, I know this is going to pass. Now, the cool thing I will say here is with the Four of Cups in reverse, it looks like they've already gone through this and they are currently coming out of this mindset. They've accepted this as kind of what it was. They're moving on. They're feeling like their best self again. They're starting to, you know, this is behind them, so to speak. But I will note that I don't see the specific cards here to just say to you, yep, they're on their way, they're going to come any moment. But I do see the right cards here to say that there doesn't seem to be anything blocking their path anymore. This seemed to be the thing that was blocking it. It wasn't a lesson to be learned. They were already smart enough to be knowledgeable of it and, you know, they don't need to learn this lesson. It was just something they went through. They went through it. Now they're in a better mindset. They're very capable and all that jazz. So there is a potential they are coming to you soon or coming into your realm. And I don't see anything in here that says you're doing anything to prevent them coming. So, woo, woo, woo. But if you don't mind, just for my own personal curiosity and potentially yours too, I just kind of want to better understand what was so bad. What was this big bad thing that like affected them so much? So, let me... pull some cards. What is this Ten of Swords situation going on here? Got another 10 of Wands, 9 of Cups in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse. Again, self-awareness. Oh, and death. Okay. So it looks like they were trying to, this must have been some sort of financial project they were working on or something, because it was earning them a decent amount of money. They were earning a lot of money. They kind of got caught up in it a little bit, but it feels like the reason why they got caught up in the project and it earning money and they became very focused and honed in on that, which I don't know, we're living in a day and age where like if anybody can just suddenly have a flow of income coming in, who wouldn't, you know, not get caught up in that? But this wasn't out of like the ego of getting caught out of the money. Something was stressing them the hell out. And they were aware the more money they had, the more freedom they had. Something was, you know, really bogging them down. And this project and the money that was coming in was the solution to that. And they were feeling a lot less stressed out by it. But it started to become their only focus, their only desire, their only attention, their only source of happiness. And it looks like they have a potential of, again, this is how powerful they are. It doesn't seem like many people can stop their power except themselves. That's kind of where they're at. And they seem to have a history with it, like it can happen. And they were starting to kind of run into those bumps in the road, so to speak. Spirit's also telling me that when they started to notice the flow trip up, it made them panic because they didn't want to go back to this stressful feeling. And they tried to remove what they felt was their own personal barriers getting in the way because they thought that was the problem. And they were like, this is the only thing that usually gets in my way. I'll fix whatever obstacles. You know, when you self-sabotage, that kind of thing, they tried to be aware of whatever their habits were. But it looks like that wasn't the problem. And unfortunately, as they got caught up in trying to constantly self-edit and fix whatever they thought they were messing up personally, and so consumed with this, they were sort of distracted or unaware by and not realizing at the moment it happened that this was just, it was just, again, we talked about fate. With Death card talks about a natural ending, that you couldn't stop it, it was just going to happen. It wasn't personal, it wasn't you, it wasn't someone else, it just was what it was. It ran its course. You had your little splurge of what was going on, and it's not a bad thing that it ended, because this thing did solve the main problem for them, and it looks like it didn't come back from them overcoming their mood. So all good, all positive. Get ready, they might be around the corner at any moment. Look behind you. Just kidding. Anyways, have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. But either way, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's figure out where your soulmate is. Where are they? Tell me where they are. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you where they are. If you can hear some really intense, heavy breathing, my twin flame worked an overnight shift. You got to hustle, you got to work hard, and you also got to sleep. So you can probably hear him breathing super intensely. It's not a serial killer. It's just, you know, consider it nice, relaxing background sounds. But anyways, let's get on to your soulmate. So your oracle card is Balancing Act Upright. Okay. And your tarot cards are 5 of Wands in reverse, 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the Empress upright, 3 of Cups in reverse, and Ace of Wands upright. Okay. Well, I can tell you right off the bat, your soulmate is just such a freaking cutie. They're very like, can do, yeah, I got this. Everything's, you know, meant to happen for a reason. Life lessons, woo. They're currently in the process of growing, as we all are, but they're very aware of it. I can see that here and here. They're very aware of it. They're very passionate about it. They're all about it. Now, it looks like the main thing that's keeping them from you is that they're currently cleaning up their life at the moment after... It doesn't feel like one particular event. It feels like a situation they're in. And it's not bringing them down at all. Like I said, they have a very kind of upbeat demeanor. They're okay with it. It didn't affect them negatively. It's nothing they're going to bring over to when they see you. They're just aware of it. They're working on it. They're fixing it. Da, 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 da. So let's kind of get into who they are and what went down. So we can see over here in the Empress upright and the Ace of Wands upright that they are a super passionate, loving type of person that when they meet somebody, whether it be romantic or friends, they give it their all. They are that person who is going to make sure you get home safely at night and tuck you in. Not for, sometimes people do this for the ego of coming across as a good person. You know, I'm not trying to like call out anyone, but sometimes people just do it because they can't help it. That's how they love. They don't, your soulmate doesn't mind being the person that cooks dinner for everyone or gets someone a last drink. They're not doing it to be a doormat or appear a certain way. They're just a very giving, nurturing person, and that's their comfort level, and that's how they express themselves, which is an awesome thing. So definitely get excited to have somebody who's going to want to take care of you and be there for you in that way. But like I said, They're all about, you know, like being like, yeah, I'm doing well. Let me let other people know about this and share my growth. I want them to grow too. And like, let's all flourish together. And they are very passionate when it comes to their experiences in bonding with someone. So they had this friend group over here with the Three of Cups. Now, whenever I get a Three of Cups in reverse situation and it is related to a friend group, right off the bat, I can get a vibe of the group. This is the group of people that change, like maybe as a core they stay together because they're all very similar and nobody has to call out one another and they'll have each other's back. But it's not because they have a deeper friendship, but rather they'd like to hide each other's flaws together as a whole whenever they meet other people. But these are people who get new friends in their friend group every 6 months. They're a bunch of flakes. They seem really cool and everyone bonds together really fast, but you don't feel like they ever really have your back. And somehow you feel kind of empty after hanging out with them after so long, and it doesn't take that long to see their true colors and so on and so forth. This isn't just an evil group that's all about manipulation. There's just not a lot of depth to them. Kind of harmless. That's what it is. So, your loved one, your future loved one, your soulmate, met this group of people, and you know, they were a happy-go-lucky, positive person. Oh, so I do want to mention, I always find the Three of Cups in reverse card near something really positive, like a Queen of Cups or the Empress, very commonly, because go figure, these type of people tend to be attracted to those very powerful, light, what is the word, projecting, like they put out a lot of light vibe type of people. So they were drawn to your soulmate. We're like, oh my God, look at this cool person. And cool, they just give us so much attention and free stuff. And your person's very vocal about being like, yo, you're so cool, and wants to share that. So they were all vibing each other because they feed off that. But over time, as they were giving their your soulmate was giving their all to these people, they started to become aware of their true personality. But your soulmate is not dumb and is someone who is going to take themselves out of a situation. Like I said, they are not a doormat. And it looks like the group started to self-implode a little bit. I do want to mention something I keep noticing here, and I want to pull some more cards because I'm just kind of curious about the details of this. But I kind of get this vibe with these three cards in relationship to each other, and we'll get into the balancing act in a moment, that because the balancing act talks about how a multitude of things are affected. And when I see the Four of Pentacles here, it just feels like your soulmate was so generous, it might have become a little bit of a financial generous thing, and something where it's just like you're surrounded by shallow people started to affect maybe their financial situation, maybe other parts of their life. It became kind of like multiple factors were going on. Either way, it looks like the group started to self-implode. It also looks like your person, kind of to protect themselves, started to distance themselves from this group. I can see this here. The reason why they started doing that is they were like, oh, I can see my life's getting a little out of whack in a very healthy, normal, not lose your head kind of way of just being like, oh, I'm noticing this. And they started to realize some things were off balance, as it's the card's implying. And off balance is not necessarily cutting something off by the head. So your soulmate wasn't like, you know, I don't want to be friends with it anymore, confrontation. They just started to distance themselves away from this group because they started to see how it affected their finances, and they started seeing how it negatively affected other parts of their life, and they just made a healthier decision to pull away a little bit. Because while they give love, they know when to give it and when to take it away. Not necessarily as punishment, but they're just healthy with their own personal self-worth, which is great. Another positive thing about them. They seem like a very whole being, so to speak. So, the group started to, as they didn't get this love and nurturing from your soulmate and stuff like that, they in general, their nastier sides of their personality came out as a group, and they kind of started to self-implode, lots of confrontation, lots of fights. I can see that here in the Five of Wands. Everyone started to kind of bickering. It became a thing. And with the Four of Pentacles, this and this being in reverse, it shows that there were confrontations. Your soulmate kind of was like, oh, I'm gonna avoid this, kind of avoided it, dodged it, as in order to be able to protect themselves. And they were kind of like realizing what needed proper attention and what didn't. And so they're kind of in this transition right now. Like I said, they haven't fully, with the balancing act, we could have gotten cleaning house, which is another oracle card, which would directly refer to them cutting off the group. They haven't fully cut off the group yet. They're in the process of it. I think the main reason why they haven't cut themselves off from this group yet is it looks like they're giving more attention. So like, let's say they started to spend too much money. They're, instead of just, you know, because they're not a confrontational person, instead of being like, get away from me, you know, people I don't like, they're like, I'm just gonna not hang out with you guys as much because I'm trying to save money, or I'm working on figuring out my finances, or whatever they needed to balance out before they maybe get into the brass tacks of being like, hey, maybe we shouldn't hang out. But I just don't see your loved one being someone to even straight up say it. I could see this being like a slow burn of like not hanging out as much type of thing. They're just not that type of person. They don't need to be aggressive. That's not who they are as a person. But I just want to, if you don't mind, for my own curiosity and potentially yours, I just want to know what's going on here with the Four of Wands in reverse, because I'm like, what is this confrontation? See if we can figure out. Okay. We've got Two of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Pentacles upright. And 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so we're not going to get deeper information about what happened, which implies to me that this group was just kind of going through the motion. Every couple months they self-implode and everything's great and then everything's wrong. It wasn't really anything in particular, but I can see it repeated again here that yes, your soulmate's finances were being, and their just day-to-day like relationship with their work and stuff like that was being affected by the group. This would be coming in late because they're partying a little bit too much again. Three of Cups in reverse does talk about partying too hard. They were having things kind of, they were dropping the ball in their own personal life. So think of the balance card off. They were aware of that. They pulled back. They did become aware in the Nine of Pentacles that they were investing a little bit too much in this group, and there was an awareness that this didn't have a longevity to it. But I do want to kind of mention this with the Ten of Pentacles. This is not, for me, and Spirit's telling me, this is not about their family. I just want to mention that. But when the Ten of Pentacles pops up, it just feels like to me that when they approach most friendship groups or soulmate, they do have kind of they plan to be with people because they would like to be friends with them over longer periods of time. Almost like family. They're interested in building their own family with friends, with other people. They're just very loving in that way. And so don't expect them to be the type of person to go through this kind of emotion ocean thing very often where they just bounce from group to group. They were hoping this would be a more longer term friend group, but they're also smart enough to know when to kind of like not be involved anymore. But this is to me another positive sign that they have a good head on their shoulders. Don't be surprised if they want to have and create friends and kind of bring them into your relationship as like a fun, like everybody gets to benefit from this happy thing. They're very smart. They're very loving. A lot of good stuff. And they're in the process of getting rid of this kind of baggage as well as learning this lesson. But they're good. They're just doing their thing. So that's the thing that's keeping you guys from being with each other. But it feels like it's kind of coming to an end. So don't be surprised if they come up somewhat soon. So yeah. As in, the last point I'm trying to make is that they don't need to learn a very deep lesson because as they're learning it, they're making that decision and already being like, oh yeah, I get it. They don't have to go through this multiple times to learn it. Does that make sense? Okay. Good. We're on the same page. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. But either way, I'll see you in the next one. Let's get ready for group number 4. Let's answer the question, where is your soulmate? Where are they? You can probably hear some loud breathing going on. My twin flame worked an overnight shift and they are exhausted. You will hear them sleeping deeply. I hope it doesn't bother you. You can take it some beautiful tranquil sounds to kind of like, chill us all out while we're doing this reading. But back to your current soulmate. Let's figure out, where are they? Your oracle card is Golden Palace in reverse. And your tarot cards are Three of Wands upright, Two of Cups upright, King of Swords upright, Four of Wands in reverse, and your last card is Knight of Pentacles upright. Oh my god, this is so cute. Okay, so I'm very happy to express this message to you that you are currently on their mind, like all the time. You know when people get to a point in their life where they're just like, all right, I'd like to meet my soulmate now. I'd like to meet my special someone. I'd like to meet my twin flame, whoever it is. I'm ready, or I want to share this with them, or life doesn't have the same, you know, passion or meaning if I don't get to share it with someone. But your just mindset is very laser focused on it. They are thinking about you all the time. I can see that in the Knight of Pentacles, that it's to the point that no matter what they're doing in their day-to-day, like routine of what they're going about, they are just fixate on it. And they're just like, they're thinking the same thing that you probably are. Where the hell are they? Which is why you're probably going to feel a little probably peeved or annoyed for them. You're going to equally be like, I'm right here, and hear the kind of sort of blockage going on. So I can tell you right now, they are emotionally stable, they are mentally stable, there's no lesson or blockage that involves like a heartbreak or someone else's influence or anything negative like that. They are totally ready for you. They know what it means to be in a relationship. They're in the right position in their life to be able to give that love properly, equally, all that good jazz. But this is where, unfortunately, the ironic, and this is where the annoyance will come in, blockage is. Because everything else is very positive, but we have a sort of disharmony thing going on internally with the Four of Wands in reverse and then the Golden Palace in reverse. So the ironic thing is, what is keeping them from you is their obsession to wanting to find you. They want you too much. And that's so annoying too. I hate giving this sort of message because people that are aware they are in their own way or aware they're thinking about it too much are painfully aware they're thinking about it too much. It's kind of like when you are in a financial situation where you would like to attract more money to you and you're aware that you're thinking about it too much and there's a sort of desperation you're giving off that's pushing away opportunities or employment prospects and stuff like that. Love seems to come around the corner sometimes when we least expect it. That's actually how I met my twin flame. And it's annoying to hear that the universe is like, you gotta stop thinking about it so much. You have to stop thinking about it at all. You've put out the wish, you've put out the intent and the manifestation, now let it exist. When you so desperately want it, and I'm sure it's hard to turn it off because everything that they're doing, especially in the Three of Wands, I can see they are, and the Golden Palace in reverse, and we'll get to that specific in a moment, that when they go to have a fun memory, it's just, they can't help but be like, this would be a lot more fun if, you know, you, the person watching this video, were around. I wish I could share this memory with someone else. Like, it's cool, I'm by myself again. You know what I mean? So the Golden Palace in reverse asks someone and lets them know that the thing that they are putting so much importance in, a sense of security, whatever you want to phrase it as, they're holding on too tightly, and they need to loosen their grip and not depend on it so much in order to receive it, which is pretty, like, you know, offshoot and understandable, like we just talked about. I mean, in the Three of Wands, I can see that because they're looking too much towards the future of you coming towards them, and they're very excited about sharing this relationship and everything like that. Again, they are very into the idea of a partnership sort of romance. And what I mean by that is many people, when they think of their special someone, they have something kind of in mind, whether it be, for some people it is financial. For some people it's about affection. They are very into this equivalence of respect and sort of sharing everything to the point of like there's a lot of equality when it comes to going about things, and they want to respect your opinion and vice versa. So they are just so excited about having somebody who's their best friend and their romantic interest, and they're looking towards it too much. So therefore, they're always kind of keeping you in the future of meaning. They're not being present enough in the moment. Now, the Four of Wands talking about this internal conflict going on with the Knight of Pentacles, because again, they're obsessing about it every moment, every time they're doing anything, every time they're washing a plate or filling out a piece of paper, doing an errand. It's kind of a little bit too infectious in there. You could describe your home being like your day-to-day, who you are internally, how you go about doing things. And it's just like I said before, with the not being present in the moment, they're never giving a chance for their wish and bringing the universe and you towards them to happen. So that's unfortunately the reason why it's so annoying, is they're there, they want you, they're ready for you. There is a certain, I don't know, I feel like with the King of Swords, they're smart enough to eventually get that they're doing this, but they're definitely too distracted at the moment. I think they'll get it eventually and soon, that they need to kind of chill out a little bit. But that's the main thing, is that basically I'm just trying to say that they're into you, they're excited for you, but the more they want you, the more they're pushing you away. I think they're going to let up soon enough. Nah, I don't know. I can't promise you that. I feel like it's just going to be a little bit. Not too long, I will say, but I just kind of get the vibe it's going to take them a second. Usually when people really want something, it takes them a little while to learn to let go. So definitely expect to run into them, and when you do, they're literally going to be not only very overjoyous and ready for you and capable of being the right partner you need, but definitely expect them to be like, oh my god, the second I stopped thinking about this, you popped into my life. Definitely expect to hear that. So the good news is, once they let go of this, which we can all wish them luck, because who hasn't been there, they'll be coming your way. So it's all good, but it's kind of an annoying barrier, so to speak. So either way, have a beautiful day. They're having a beautiful day. They're thinking of you. You can think of them. Maybe you can send some good vibes their way to be like, don't worry, I'm coming. Just chill out. I'll chill out. You'll chill out. We'll meet in the middle. Either way, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, because this was super fun to read and deliver to you. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one.